Dr. Benjamin Cole rubbed his tired eyes as he stared at the computer screen in his dimly lit office at the Global Observatory. Something wasn't right with the data. At first, he thought it was a problem with their instruments, but after triple-checking everything, the truth was becoming clear. The stars were getting dimmer. "This can't be happening," he muttered, taking another sip of his cold coffee. The graphs on his screen showed a steady decrease in stellar brightness across hundreds of stars. It wasn't just one or two. It was happening everywhere he looked. A soft knock on his door made him look up. Lisa Warren, the newest addition to their quantum physics team, stood in the doorway. Her usual neat appearance was disheveled, and her face showed the same worry he felt. "Dr. Cole, you need to see this," she said, walking over to his desk with her tablet. "I've been running analysis on the stellar dimming, and, well, look at these energy patterns." Ben leaned forward, his eyes widening as he looked at her data. The energy signatures didn't match any known natural phenomenon. They were too regular, too precise. "This isn't natural," he said slowly. "These patterns, they look artificial." "Exactly," Lisa replied, pulling up a chair. "Something or someone is interfering with the stars. All of them. At the same time." Before Ben could respond, the emergency alarm began blaring throughout the facility. Red lights flashed in the hallway, and both scientists jumped to their feet. "All senior staff to the main conference room immediately," the speakers announced. "This is not a drill. Repeat, all senior staff to the main conference room immediately." Ben and Lisa rushed through the corridors, joining other confused scientists hurrying toward the conference room. When they arrived, the large screen at the front of the room was showing live footage from their deep space communication array. Dr. Roberts, the facility director, stood at the front of the room, his face pale. 10 minutes ago, we received this transmission. It's being broadcast on all frequencies, from multiple points in space." He pressed a button, and a message appeared on the screen. The room fell silent as everyone read the glowing blue text. "We AAVCHOZN to DEPRT. Your species is not ready." The message repeats in every known human language, Dr. Roberts continued. "And it's being broadcast from locations near every major star system we've been monitoring." Ben felt his heart pounding. The stellar dimming. They're taking the stars with them. How is that even possible? Lisa spoke up, her voice shaking slightly. "The energy patterns I found. They're not just interfering with the stars. They're harvesting them somehow. These beings, whoever they are, they're literally taking the stars away." The room erupted in panicked discussions. Dr. Roberts raised his hands for silence. "People, please, we need to stay focused. Our first priority is to understand exactly what's happening and how it will affect Earth." Just then, Ben's phone buzzed. It was a weather alert. He opened it and felt his blood run cold. "Global temperatures are already dropping," he announced to the room. "Whatever they're doing to the stars, it's affecting our sun too." "How long?" Dr. Roberts asked. Ben quickly ran some calculations on his tablet, his fingers flying over the screen. "If the dimming continues at this rate, we have maybe 6 months before global crop failures begin. A year before the temperature drop becomes severe." Lisa stood up, her face determined. "Then we have no choice. If the aliens won't help us, we'll have to save ourselves. We need to find a way to replace the stars." The room fell silent again. But this time it was different. The panic was being replaced by something else. Determination. Ben looked around at his colleagues' faces and saw the same expression on all of them. The aliens might have abandoned humanity, but humanity wasn't going to give up. "Lisa's right," Ben said, standing up beside her. "If they can manipulate stars, so can we. We just need to figure out how." He turned to Dr. Roberts. "Sir, I suggest we form a task force immediately. We need every physicist, astronomer, and engineer we can get." Dr. Roberts nodded. "Agreed. Dr. Cole, Dr. Warren, you'll lead the research team. I'll contact other facilities worldwide. If we're going to survive this, we need everyone working together. As the meeting broke up into smaller groups, Ben looked out the window at the night sky. The stars did look dimmer, but he felt a spark of hope. Humanity had faced extinction before, and they'd always found a way to survive. This time would be no different. They would find a way. They had to. The stars might have abandoned them, but humanity's power was just beginning to blaze. 2 months after the aliens' message, the world had changed. Snow fell in places that had never seen winter. Crops failed in fields across the globe. The sun, once bright and powerful, now gave off a weak, sickly light that barely warmed the earth. In the control room of the Global Observatory, Ben Cole hadn't slept properly in days. Empty coffee cups littered his desk as he studied the latest data. Lissa Warren worked at the station next to him, her face lit by the blue glow of multiple screens. "The rate of stellar dimming is increasing," she said, pointing to a graph. "They're getting better at whatever they're doing to harvest the stars." Before Ben could respond, the door burst open. Major Robert Hayes strode in, still wearing his snow-covered military uniform. "Dr. Cole, Dr. Warren, we need you in the emergency meeting. Now." They followed the major through cold hallways to a secure conference room. Military and scientific leaders from around the world appeared on large screens around the room. None of them looked happy. "The situation is worse than we thought," Major Hayes announced. "Food riots have broken out in 12 major cities. The global food supply will last another 4 months at best." "What about the fusion power plants?" someone asked from one of the screens. "They're working," Lisa answered, pulling up her data. "But they can only power essential services. We need something bigger." Ben stood up and walked to the front of the room. "We might have found something." "Lisa, show them what we discovered." Lisa typed quickly on her tablet, and a new image appeared on the main screen. It showed complex energy patterns from the dying stars. "We've been studying how the aliens are harvesting stellar energy," she explained in simple terms. "They're not just taking the energy, they're storing it somehow. And we think we've figured out part of their method." The room grew quiet. Ben continued. "The aliens left behind traces of their technology. Small things, easy to miss, but they're like breadcrumbs leading us to understand their science." "Are you saying we can copy their technology?" Major Hayes asked, leaning forward. "Not exactly," Ben replied. "But we can learn from it. Create our own version. Something that might work even better." Lisa stepped forward. "We've already started testing a small prototype, a way to create artificial stellar energy." She paused, looking around the room. "We think we can build new stars." Shocked voices filled the room. Major Hayes raised his hand for silence. "How long would this take? We don't have much time." "The first test is ready now," Ben said. "We've set up a facility in the Nevada desert. If it works, we could start larger tests within weeks." "And if it fails?" someone asked. "Then we try again," Lisa said firmly. "We keep trying until it works." Major Hayes stood up. "Show us." An hour later, they all stood in a reinforced observation room, looking out over the desert. The test chamber, a massive metal sphere, sat half a mile away. "Starting the reaction in 10 seconds, Lisa announced, her fingers moving over the controls. Ben held his breath as the countdown reached 0. For a moment, nothing happened. Then, a bright light began to shine through the seams of the test chamber. It grew brighter and brighter, until it was painful to look at. "Energy readings are stable," Lisa called out. "Containment is holding. It's working." The light dimmed to a steady glow as the chamber shields activated. Ben looked at the readings and smiled for the first time in weeks. "It's producing more power than we expected. And it's stable." Major Hayes studied the data. "How soon can we scale this up?" "Give us 1 month," Ben said. "We'll need help from every major lab and factory. But we can do it. You'll have whatever you need," the major promised. "Every resource we have." Later that night, Ben and Lisa stood outside, looking up at the dimming stars. The air was bitter cold, but the success of their test had given them new hope. "Do you think the aliens are watching us?" Lisa asked. "Probably," Ben replied. "But I don't think they expected this. They thought leaving us in the dark would end us. Instead, it's making us stronger," Lisa said, smiling. "We're learning to make our own light." Ben nodded, watching his breath form clouds in the cold air. "They abandoned us because they thought we weren't ready. We're about to prove them very wrong." In the distance, their artificial star continued to shine, a tiny but brilliant point of light in the growing darkness. It wasn't just a power source. It was humanity's first step toward taking control of their own destiny among the stars. 6 months had passed since the first successful test of artificial stellar generation. The world had changed dramatically. Cities now glowed with the light of small artificial stars, carefully contained in special towers that rose into the sky. But it wasn't enough. Not yet. Dr. Amy Foster walked through the doors of the Global Observatory, carrying a large box of equipment. She had been working on improving the artificial star technology, and today she had big news to share. Ben Cole and Lisa Warren met her in the main lab. The room was warmer than the rest of the building, heated by the small test stars they kept in special containers. "You said you found something important," Ben asked, helping Amy unpack her equipment. Amy nodded, her eyes bright with excitement. "Watch this." She pulled out a small device about the size of a basketball. Inside, a tiny star flickered to life, but this one was different. Instead of the usual blue-white light, it glowed with a warm, golden color. "What did you do to it?" Lisa asked, leaning closer. "I changed its basic structure," Amy explained. "These new stars don't just produce light and heat. They can grow. They can learn." Ben's eyes widened. "Learn? You mean they can adapt?" "Exactly," Amy said. She pressed a button on her device. The tiny star pulsed and grew slightly brighter. "They respond to our commands. We can control exactly how much energy they produce." Major Hayes entered the lab just then, followed by several international scientists who had flown in despite the dangerous weather. They all gathered around Amy's device. "If this works like you say," Major Hayes said, "we could do more than just survive. We could thrive." "There's more," Amy continued. She pulled up some data on the main screen. "These stars can communicate with each other. They form networks. The more we make, the more efficient they become." Lisa studied the data, her face lighting up with understanding. "This is brilliant. We could create entire systems of artificial stars, all working together." "Project Prometheus is ready for the next phase," Ben announced to the room. "We're not just making replacement stars anymore. We're making something better." The meeting room came alive with excitement as scientists from around the world began sharing their own findings. In Japan, they had found a way to make the stars last longer. In Brazil, they had developed better containment systems. In India, they had discovered how to make the stars produce specific types of energy. "The aliens thought they were punishing us," Major Hayes said, looking at all the progress displayed on the screens around them. "Instead, they forced us to become stronger." Just then, alarms started blaring throughout the facility. But these weren't warning alarms. They were celebration alarms. On the main screen, a message flashed from the European Space Center. "First artificial state-air, CUCESFULYLAUMENCHED into orbit, stable and growing." Everyone rushed to the windows. High in the dark sky, a new light had appeared. It wasn't as bright as the old sun, but it was growing stronger by the minute. Cheers erupted throughout the building. "Look at the readings," Lisa said, checking her tablet. "It's performing even better than we hoped. The energy output is perfect." "And it's just the first of many," Amy added. "We can launch more. Create a network of new stars around Earth." Ben watched the new star glowing in the sky. "We should give it a name," he suggested. "Hope," Amy said simply, "We'll call it hope." As they watched, the star grew slightly brighter, as if responding to its new name. Around the world, people were stepping outside to look up at humanity's first artificial star in space. It was proof that they could do more than just survive. They could rebuild their world, maybe even make it better than before. "What do you think the aliens would say if they could see us now?" Lisa asked. "They might be surprised," Ben replied with a smile. "They thought we weren't ready for the stars. Now we're making our own." Major Hayes looked at the data streaming in from the new star. "How long until we can launch more?" "Give us 2 weeks," Amy said confidently. "We'll have a whole new constellation ready." As night fell, the new star Hope continued to shine, a beacon of human achievement in the darkened sky. It wasn't just a replacement for what they had lost. It was something new, something uniquely human, and it was just the beginning. The stars might have abandoned humanity, but humanity's spirit blazed brighter than ever, lighting up the darkness with their own created stars. 1 year had passed since the stars began to dim. The night sky now shone with dozens of artificial stars, each one created by human hands. At the Global Observatory, Ben Cole and Lisa Warren had just made an amazing discovery. "Look at this," Lisa said, pointing to a piece of alien technology they had found in an old satellite. "The way they controlled the stars, we're doing it better." Ben studied the alien device. It was small and silver, with strange markings on its surface. "You're right. Their method was messy. They wasted a lot of energy. Ours is more elegant." The door opened, and engineer Daniel Pierce walked in. He was new to the team, brought in because he was the best at building the containers that held their artificial stars. His hands were covered in burn marks from his work, but he was smiling. "The new containment chamber is ready," he announced. "It's stronger than anything we've built before. We can make bigger stars now." Amy Foster looked up from her computer. Perfect timing. "My new stars are ready for testing. They're different from the others." They all went to the testing area. Through the thick window, they could see Daniel's new chamber. It was huge, like a silver egg the size of a house. Amy pressed some buttons on her control panel, and a new star began to form inside. "What's different about this one?" Ben asked. "Watch," Amy said. The star grew brighter, but then something amazing happened. Small spots of different colors appeared in its light. Blues, greens, and golds swirled together like a dance. "It's beautiful," Lisa whispered. "But how is it doing that?" "I found something in the alien data," Amy explained. "They thought stars could only burn one way, but they were wrong. Stars can change. They can grow. They can even make new elements we've never seen before." Daniel checked the readings on the containment chamber. "The structure is holding perfectly. We could make this star 10 times bigger if we wanted to." Just then, Major Hayes rushed into the room. "We're picking up something strange," he said. "There's a signal coming from deep space. It's heading toward Earth." They all hurried to the main control room. On the big screen, they could see something moving through space, coming closer. "It's one of them," Ben said quietly. "The aliens who left us. They're coming back." "Why now?" Lisa wondered. "They probably noticed our new stars," Amy said. "We've made more than 50 of them now. They must have seen them." Major Hayes turned to the team. "How ready are we? Can we protect Earth if we need to?" Ben looked at the data from their latest tests. "Our stars are stronger than their natural ones, and we understand them better than the aliens do." He smiled. "We're more than ready." "There's something else," Lisa added. She pulled up more readings on her screen. "Look at how our artificial stars are connecting to each other. They're forming a network, just like Amy said they would, but it's doing more than we expected." Everyone gathered around her screen. The network of artificial stars was creating patterns of energy they had never seen before. It was beautiful and powerful. "This is impossible," Daniel said, studying the patterns. "According to the alien data, Stars can't do this. They can't work together like this. Human stars can, Amy said proudly, because we built them differently. We built them better. Ben looked at the alien ship getting closer on the main screen. When they left us, they thought they were leaving us to die. Instead, they forced us to become stronger. Should we be worried about them coming back? Daniel asked. Major Hayes shook his head. Look at our readings again. Our artificial stars are more powerful than anything they had. We're not the same helpless species they abandoned a year ago. Lisa walked to the window and looked up at the night sky. Their artificial stars shone brightly, forming beautiful patterns among the few natural stars that remained. Each one was a testament to human determination and creativity. Let them come, she said. We have a lot to show them. In the testing chamber, Amy's new star continued to dance with colors never seen before. It was more than just a source of light and heat. It was proof that humanity could do more than just copy the aliens' technology. They could improve it, make it their own. The stars had abandoned humanity, but in doing so, they had pushed humans to reach heights they never would have achieved otherwise. Now, as the aliens returned, they would find a very different Earth waiting for them. The alien ship hung in Earth's orbit like a dark cloud. It was huge, shaped like a crystal with sharp edges that caught the light from Earth's new artificial stars. Inside the global observatory, everyone watched the main screen with tense faces. They've been up there for 3 days, Major Hayes said, just watching us. Ben Cole studied the data coming in from their sensors. Look at this, he said, pointing to some readings. They're scanning our artificial stars. They seem confused. Lisa Warren nodded. Of course they are. They've never seen stars like ours before. At that moment, Amy Foster burst into the room. Her face was excited. You need to see this right away. She quickly connected her tablet to the main screen. Watch what happened when we tested the new star network. The screen showed a group of artificial stars working together. As they watched, the stars began to pulse in perfect harmony. Waves of energy flowed between them, creating patterns that looked like bridges of light. Are those pathways? Daniel Pierce asked, leaning closer to the screen. Better, Amy said, grinning. They're roads. Roads through space. Everyone stared at her. Ben was the first to understand. You mean we could use these energy paths to travel? Not just travel, Amy explained. We could move faster than light itself. Our stars aren't just giving us power. They're showing us how to reach other solar systems. Suddenly, alarms started blaring. Red lights flashed throughout the building. Major Hayes rushed to the communication console. The alien ship is powering up some kind of weapon, he announced. They're aiming at our largest star cluster. They're afraid, Lisa said quietly. They see what we've done, and it scares them. Ben stepped forward. Amy, can you link all our stars together? Right now. Amy's fingers flew over her control panel. Already doing it. Daniel, I need maximum power to all containment systems. Daniel ran to his station. On it. On the main screen, they could see their artificial stars beginning to glow brighter. The network between them grew stronger, filling the space around Earth with webs of pure energy. The alien ship fired its weapon. A beam of dark energy shot toward Earth's largest star cluster. But something amazing happened. The network of artificial stars pulsed, and the alien weapon simply disappeared. The energy was absorbed into the network, making Earth's stars shine even brighter. How did you do that? Major Hayes asked, amazed. We didn't, Amy said, checking her readings. The stars did it themselves. They're protecting us. A message appeared on their screens. The aliens were trying to communicate. Ben pressed a button to receive it. A voice filled the room, speaking in perfect English. This is impossible. Stars cannot behave this way. What have you done? Lisa stepped up to the communication panel. We did what we had to do when you abandoned us. We made something better. Your stars, they work together. the alien voice said. They create pathways we have never seen. How? Because we didn't try to control them completely, Ben explained. We let them grow. We let them learn. There was a long pause. Then the alien voice returned, sounding different now. Almost humble. We were wrong about your species. You have surpassed our understanding of stellar engineering in just 1 year. Amy smiled. Would you like us to teach you? Another pause. You would share this knowledge after we abandoned you. That's what humans do, Major Hayes said. We learn, we grow, and we share what we know, even with those who try to hurt us. The alien ship's weapons powered down. On the main screen, they could see it moving closer to Earth's star network, studying the beautiful patterns of energy. Your offer is accepted, the alien voice said. We request permission to send scientists to learn from you. Later that night, Ben and Lisa stood outside, looking up at the sky. Earth's artificial stars shone brighter than ever, their network creating beautiful waves of light across the heavens. Do you think they understand yet? Lisa asked. What they did when they left us. Ben watched as another star joined the network, its light pulsing in harmony with the others. They thought they were punishing us. Instead, they pushed us to become something new, something better. Above them, the alien ship floated in Earth's orbit, now surrounded by the gentle light of human-made stars. The stars might have abandoned humanity, but humanity had turned that abandonment into their greatest triumph. 2 weeks after the aliens arrived, the global observatory was busier than ever. Alien scientists worked side by side with humans, learning about the new star technology. But today was special. They were about to test something that even the aliens thought was impossible. All systems ready. Daniel Pierce called out from his station. In front of the observatory, a small spacecraft sat on a launch pad. It looked simple, but it contained humanity's newest invention. Ben Cole checked the final calculations while Lisa Warren adjusted the star network controls. Amy Foster stood by her latest creation, a specially designed artificial star that was smaller than usual but much more powerful. The pathways between the stars are stable, Amy reported, watching her screens. The new microstar is ready for testing. Major Hayes stood with 3 alien scientists. The aliens looked like tall, silvery beings with multiple arms. They watched everything with great interest. You believe this small ship can travel faster than light? One alien asked. Its voice sounded doubtful. Watch and learn, Ben said with a smile. He turned to the control room. Start the sequence. The small star inside the spacecraft began to glow. Above in the sky, all of Earth's artificial stars pulsed together. The energy pathways between them lit up like roads of pure light. Energy levels rising, Lisa announced. The star network is responding perfectly. Daniel worked at his controls. Containment field is holding. The microstar is reaching full power. The alien scientists moved closer to the windows, their silver bodies reflecting the growing light. They had never seen anything like this before. Now, Amy said firmly, let's show them what humans can do. She pressed a button. The spacecraft's star flared brightly. The network of stars above pulsed in response. Suddenly, a new kind of pathway appeared, not just between stars, but through space itself. That's impossible, one alien whispered. Space cannot be folded that way. But it was happening. The spacecraft rose from the ground, surrounded by a bubble of star energy. Then, in a flash of brilliant light, it vanished. Location? Major Hayes asked quickly. Lisa checked her readings. It worked. The ship it's in the Alpha Centauri system, 4 light-years away, reached in less than a second. The room erupted in cheers. The alien scientists stood in shocked silence. How? One finally asked. How did you discover this? Amy walked over to them. You tried to control the stars completely. We worked with them instead. We let them show us what they could do. The pilot is reporting in, Daniel announced. Everyone turned to listen. "This is test pilot Sarah Martinez." A voice came through clearly. "I'm looking at Alpha Centauri right now. The star pathway worked perfectly. Ready to return home." Ben smiled at the aliens. "Want to see the return trip?" Before they could answer, another flash lit up the sky. The spacecraft appeared back on the landing pad, completely undamaged. Sarah stepped out, grinning widely. "It's more beautiful than we imagined," she said. "The star pathways make traveling through space feel as easy as walking down a road." The lead alien scientist turned to Major Hayes. We request permission to share this discovery with other species. Many worlds would benefit from this technology." "Of course," the Major replied. "But first, you might want to tell them who invented it." Later that day, Ben found Lisa working on new calculations. "What are you planning now?" he asked. She showed him her screen. "The star network isn't just letting us travel through space. Look at these readings. I think we might be able to create stable micro-universes." "You mean we could make new spaces to live?" Ben asked, amazed. "More than that," Lisa said excitedly. "We could create safe places to test new stars, new technologies. The possibilities are endless." Outside, more alien ships were arriving from distant worlds. They all came to learn from the humans who had done the impossible. The species that had not only survived being abandoned by the stars, but had learned to make better ones. "They thought we weren't ready for the stars," Ben said, watching the ships arrive. "Now they're not ready for us." Amy joined them, carrying new data about the star network. "Ready to show them our next discovery?" she asked with a grin. Ben looked at the growing crowd of alien scientists eager to learn from humans. "I think they're finally ready to learn what humanity can really do." 5 years had passed since the stars began to dim. Earth had changed in ways no one could have imagined. The sky was filled with artificial stars, each one shining brighter and more beautifully than natural stars ever had. And humanity had become the teachers of the galaxy. Ben Cole stood in the new Human Stellar Council chamber, a huge room with walls made of special crystal that showed the star network spreading across space. Representatives from over 50 alien species sat in the room, all of them here to learn from humans. "The latest star pathway network is now complete," Lisa Warren announced to the gathering. "We can now reach 1,000 different solar systems in less than a minute." Amy Foster stepped forward next. Her newest creation floated in the center of the room, a tiny star that glowed with all the colors of the rainbow. "And this is our latest breakthrough," she said proudly. "A star that can change its properties based on what we need. It can provide energy, create pathways, or even help terraform planets." Daniel Pierce, now the head of star containment technology, added, "And it's completely safe. The containment systems are so advanced that even a child could handle them." Major Hayes, who had become Earth's main representative to alien species, smiled as he watched the aliens' amazed reactions. Some of them had been among those who abandoned Earth years ago. Now they were students, eager to learn from humans. An alien leader stood up. Its crystal body sparkled as it spoke. "We must admit our great mistake," it said. "When we left Earth, we thought we were leaving behind a primitive species. Instead, we forced you to become the most advanced civilization in the galaxy." "You didn't force us," Ben replied kindly. "You challenged us, and humans have always grown stronger when faced with challenges." Just then, a young human scientist rushed into the room. "Dr. Cole, Dr. Warren, the first micro-universe is ready for viewing." Everyone hurried to the observation deck. Through a special window, they could see what looked like a small bubble of space floating in a controlled chamber. Inside it, new stars were being born. "Amazing," an alien scientist whispered. "You have created a new universe." "A small one," Lisa explained, "but it's stable. We can use these micro-universes to test new types of stars, to create new elements, to solve the problems of overcrowded planets." Amy walked over to her control panel. "Watch this," she said. She pressed a few buttons, and suddenly the artificial stars in Earth's sky began to move. They formed patterns, then words, spelling out humanity across the night sky. Each of these stars is more powerful than a natural star, she explained. But they work together, support each other, just like humans do. Ben looked around the room at all the faces, human and alien alike. When you left us, he said to the aliens, you thought you were taking away our light, but you gave us something more valuable. The chance to make our own light. Major Hayes stepped forward. The Human Stellar Council is now open to all species who wish to learn. We'll teach you everything we know about making and controlling stars. Together, we can light up the entire galaxy. And beyond, Lisa added with a smile. The star pathways are showing us routes to other galaxies now. There's no limit to how far we can go. Later that night, Ben and Lisa stood on the observatory's roof, looking up at their glowing creation. The artificial stars pulsed with life, their network spreading across the sky like a web of hope and possibility. Do you ever think about that day? Lisa asked, when we first saw the stars dimming. Sometimes, Ben replied. It felt like the end of the world then, but look at us now. Above them, a ship full of alien students took off, heading home to share what they had learned about human star technology. Another group was arriving, eager to start their lessons. Amy joined them, holding her latest star design, ready to test the next breakthrough. She asked with a grin. Always, Ben and Lisa said together. The stars had abandoned humanity, but that abandonment had led to humanity's greatest achievement. They hadn't just survived, they had created something entirely new. Their light would shine forever, not just across Earth, but across the entire universe. And it all started because some aliens thought humans weren't ready for the stars. They never realized that humans had always been ready. They just needed a reason to prove it. The Human Stellar Council building glowed beneath the network of artificial stars, a beacon of light in the galaxy. Humanity's power truly did blaze on, brighter than ever before, lighting the way for all species to follow.